watching your Facebook. US Post Office.
What is going on, guys? It's Adam A.K. Marf. Today's show, we're going to be talking about the updates of Russia and China and what is actually going on, what Putin is saying, what, of course, Xi is saying, and then, of course, the post office. New findings say that they are monitoring your social media. Very scary stuff. We'll be right back right after this. Remember, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else on the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. All right. What is going on, guys? My name is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today, we're going to talk about a plethora of things, and we are actually going to make sure that you have that plethora of things and know where exactly it is coming from. In fact, if you want to follow along on a second device, a second tablet, you may do so at marfooglenews.com. You will look for today's thumbnail, which is, of course, the post office is monitoring you, and then snow, rain, or surveil. They will still watch. Right here, you'll click on this, and then you'll see that we have taken the time before every single show to add in all of the bibliography of everything we're going to show you. If it's a document, if it's a tweet, if it's a video, if it is a picture, you are going to be able to find it here on the show page. So this is our show notes. It has all of the information. If we quote somebody, it will be there. And again, you can read the entire article. If we don't, read the whole thing, you can, of course, go and read the rest or check our work. If I make a typo or make a mistake saying something, then you can fix it. Like the other day, I said that one of the witnesses had a bovine head put on their porch. It was actually a pig head. I was trying not to say that, because in the context, these rhythms, they pick up the context and more than ever. But I really legitimately said bovine, thinking that was an oinker. Anyways, so something like that I need to correct. That will be on there, and then on the right side of the page, if you want to support us, again, if you want something read on the show, you can go to PayPal and do it that way. If you want to support through an affiliate, you can do that as well. We are truly independent. We do not have a multi-channel network, so you guys are our backbones. And a lot of the times, these shows, the topics are not suitable. So again, even if they are, they can, still put ads on there. But again, it doesn't go to the creator nowadays. So Marianne Crawl, thank you so much for super chatting the last one out, last show. Susan Donahue, thank you. Hashtag Team Humanity, thank you for being that last one out as well. Let's bring in Dex, and then we're going to talk about our first article here, which is, of course, the post office is running a covert operations program that monitors American social media. This is, I'll say allegedly until we get further into it. But again, what's going on, Dex, and how are you doing?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So, again, this is pretty much what it says. It says the law enforcement arm of the U.S. Post Office has been quietly running a program that tracks and collects Americans' social media posts, including those about planned protests, and of course, according to a document obtained by Yahoo News, it says that the details of the surveillance effort known as ICOP, really, or Internet Covert Operations Program, have not previously been made public. The work involves having analysts trawl through social media sites to look for what the document describes as inflammatory postings, and then sharing information across government agencies. Dex, should this be one of the hugest things out there ever? I mean,
there's on so many levels. This boggles my mind, right? Not only the snooping, but the first thing I was thinking of is, like, we're still in the midst of them not being able to deliver mail on time and not having enough funding, but they're spending money on this.
And remember, of course, a lot of this stuff we kind of knew. I mean, think about the Congress meetings of where they kind of called out these networks, and they basically said one of the congressmen actually said, hey, or was it a senator? Who was? There was two generally. There was Cruz, of course, who called out Twitter and all them, but there was also another one. What was that other senator's name? That if you can, I know you probably don't know it off the top of your head, but he called out a program that was on these that basically connects all of them. So they do talk to each other. Before it was a theory that if you did one thing on one platform and then all of a sudden all platforms got rid of you, it was just a coincidence. But now it is actually, it's been proven that they do communicate and they are kind of working together. But wow, the post office is now apparently involved in this. I think, that's insane to me. Is that insane to you? Again, share this with somebody that you think, with somebody with family that, somebody in your family or friends that share that kind of more risque stuff. I bet they would like to know this. And then it says that an analyst with the United States Postal Inspection Service, which again, that's like snail mail kind of stuff. That's so weird to me. Internet Covert Operations Program, or ICOP, monitored significant activity regarding planned protests occurring internationally and domestically on March 20th, 2021, says the March 16 government bulletin, marked as, quote, law enforcement sensitive and distributed through the Department of Homeland Security's fusion centers. It says locations and times have been identified for these tests, right, which are being distributed online across multiple social media platforms, to include the This Wing, Leaning, Parler, and Telegram accounts. It says the number of groups were expected to gather in cities around the globe on March 20th as part of a worldwide rally for these and this, right? Which again, they are... I knew, and I've known for a long time, and I've told you guys this, and I've told you for a reason, so you kind of watch what you do because it will mark you. It's like it's your social credit score. If I can't warn enough people that we will have a social credit score if you already don't have one. It's kind of like the score that all channels have, right? That goes up and down. People found out about that about a year and a half ago, and the day that they did, a lot of people checked their score as far as their channel goes on certain platforms, and then boom, it was gone. It was like they rewrote the loop out that you could go check that score. That's the thing. So it's, I guess it's not equal. It's not like that. We do a really, if you are new here, we make sure to back up what we say with authoritative sources. So if you don't believe us, you can go to this website, marfooglenews.com, and you will see all of the links to the original articles, where they came from. Of course, you can debate with them whether this is true or not. This is insane. I honestly, I cannot believe that this kind of stuff happens and it goes to the back page of the news. Everybody is focused on something else right now. So we try to dig out the stuff that is going on in the background because chances are it's more important than any of the other stuff going on. So what do you think? Again, thank you for putting that in the chat. By the way, thank you, Abandoned 6A. We've got Kevin Fugelfam, Save Your Shelves Sheeple, Park Place. We've got Shaman Einhart, says, I'm not surprised, of course. Motor Purr, good point. Hey, Jay. Let's see here. CJ, thank you, Blaze. I don't know if you guys saw, I put out nicknames and a thank you to all mods on the community post recently. CJ Blaze, I can't remember what nickname I gave you, but all of the mods, I gave a silly nickname. Thank you, guys. Nick Pride, we've got Linda Covington, sorry. D. Watts, we've got MT Wildman, Howie Hannigan, and Vibron. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Seriously. And then we, of course, have commercial airline pilots keep reporting UFOs over Canada. So we'll get to that in here in a second, but if you do want to call in, this is a call-in show today. The number is down below. It's 224-400-MARF. If you are a new person, make sure to call in. Again, we would love some fresh calls here. And then if you want to talk about what you think is going on right now, let us know. Again, that is 224-400-MARF. Marianne Crawl says, I'm back. That's awesome. Copper-Coated Candy says, I love the show. Thank you. I appreciate you, and thank you for being here. Joe NZ says 5 Eyes. Yes, like the 5 Eyes program. Only this is, now it's going to come out that everything is watching you. Commercial airline pilots keep reporting UFOs over Canada, and of course, I am not shocked. It says Vice World News has uncovered dozens of recent UFO reports from Air Canada, WestJet, Porter, and other airlines in a government aviation incident database. It says on the morning of May 30th, 2016, an Air Canada Express flight from Montreal to Toronto reported it had, quote, crossed an unidentified flying object, round and shaped, flying at an approximate speed of 300 knots, or more than 550 kilometers per hour. It says about 8,000 feet above Lake Ontario on November 14th of that year. 2 crew members were injured when a Porter Airlines plane dove to avoid hitting an object that appeared to be solid and shaped like an upright donut or inner tube. What is this, GTA 5, where they're trying to fly through the loops? Like, that's nuts. So one thing I would like to point out is, of course, the treaty that the Canadians have with China that allow them to basically move troops and move protection in for their investments. So if China, of course, has land or any kind of serious big property in Canada, they did a treaty where technically China could bring people in and they don't have to notify the local officials. So if a Chinese-owned, say, private jet company has a private setup with a private airway, they could get people from China to that private airway, take them to a private piece of investment, and sit there and they could amass people there. And technically, they don't have to tell local officials. It's in the writing of the treaty. If you don't know about that treaty, again, look it up. It is a real thing. It's absolutely just mind-boggling to me, but that's how it goes. So I just wonder if these are things that they're testing over Canada. Maybe it's a foreign government and not a UFO. Maybe it is something that they're testing over there. Don't know. Maybe they're experimenting on how, if people are going to see them or not. I don't know. It says they include a pair of WestJet flights near BC's Okanagan Valley and allegedly saw a bright white strobe-type light above them on the night of March 16th, 2017, and a pre-dawn January 10th, 2015 encounter outside Regina, Saskatchewan, when multiple aircraft reported a very large object with a small white light in the middle, surrounded by a halo that appeared to descend from above. Okay, Dex, did you read that part and think, what if that's an angel? Like, that's kind of crazy.
I know, isn't it?
What? They said many reported this very large object with a small white light in the middle, surrounded by a halo. That is, I don't know. That kind of piques the wonder and excitement in me. It says the sightings come from the Civil Aviation Daily Occurrence Reporting System, or KDORS, a searchable digital archive operated by Transport Canada, the federal department that oversees road, rail, marine, and air transportation. With over 3 decades of data, KDORS contains nearly 300,000 aviation incident reports on everything from mechanical failures to rowdy passengers to bird strikes. It also provides a fascinating record of UFO sightings by professional aviators in Canadian airspace. That is pretty crazy. Cheryl Dupree says hologram. Very well could be. Honestly, I would not be surprised by anything at this point. The now in 2021, we have had at least 10 stories that people thought were just absolutely insane. Some fringe crazy people on the internet. Now those stories are now true. So I don't understand how people can call anything BS right now without evidence. I think now you have to prove that it's fake rather than prove that it's real at this point. Because right now, there are so many things that are being said. And if you've got thousands of people talking about something, I'm sorry, but the odds are that it's possibly true. You know, it's like, I don't know. What do you guys think? If you disagree, let me know. And then it looks like I'm not getting, I'm not connected with, YouTube is not connecting me with the chat part of things, Dex. So if you can, let me know. And then we will head over to the phones if we get somebody. 224400 Marv. And then let's see here. Elon Musk's SpaceX close call crash suddenly becomes much more mysterious. A narrowly avoided collision between Elon Musk's SpaceX and OneWeb satellites that was widely reported last week did not take place, according to filings provided by the FCC by SpaceX. It was reported that SpaceX satellite came within 60 meters of a OneWeb craft, but SpaceX claims that the actual miss distance was over 1,000 meters, so 3,000 feet, which was neither a close call nor urgent. OneWeb's satellites operate at 1,200 kilometer altitude compared to SpaceX 550 kilometers, meaning they must pass through Mr. Musk's network as they ascend. OneWeb apparently contacted the SpaceX team, who disabled the Starlink satellite collision avoidance system to allow OneWeb to pass through, according to OneWeb's government affairs chief Chris McLaughlin. I think what's funny is they have a satellite collision avoidance system in Starlink. I wonder,
why would they turn it off to let them through? Doesn't it prevent a collision?
I don't know. Maybe
it just makes no sense.
I could also see Elon Musk adding like a fart noise to his collision avoidance system on his satellites, just because he's such a smart aleck. Of course, I wonder if it's like the self-driving technology in his Teslas. Like this is
maybe they wanted that turned off because they didn't trust it, the other party.
Well, maybe they. Well, I don't know if they can manually control it, but it's. So are they saying they don't trust it? I don't know. That is weird. It says that, however, SpaceX claims that it's not the case, stating in FCC filings authored by the company's director of satellite policy, David Goldman, that the probability of collision never exceeded the threshold for a maneuver and that the satellites would not have collided if no maneuver had been conducted. Now, one thing that can be said about satellites colliding, if there was enough space trash, so when you have several in that same kind of height, they have them kind of all going around in these kind of highways in space or low space, that it can start a chain reaction. So once one goes down, then it hits another, then it hits another, then it hits another. That's something that they've been talking about, and we've actually covered. Scientists say that it could cause a mass chaotic event. You're talking about a disaster if it started a chain reaction that basically spun around and knocked out all of our satellites, thus leaving us without communication, leaving us without satellites that are controlling infrastructure, all sorts of things. And then, of course, surveillance, which I'm sure the governments of the world definitely think they need, right? But what do you think? And then, let's see here. Japan-based USAF F-16s flew South China Sea mission fully loaded with live air-to-air missiles. We've heard a lot of air-to-air missile talk lately, especially with the orders. Before I get to that, though, I do want to remind you, there is 9 days left of the sale for EMP Shield. If you guys want to help support the show, support a veteran-owned business, protect yourself, support a product that's made all the way in the USA, and something that is military tested and used by agencies like DOD, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, and then, of course, the Texas Grid, I would highly recommend going over and checking it out, because you don't only get the $50 that we always have off. Right now, you are also able to combine that with their sale. This is a device that can be wired into several things. There's different devices for different items. Like you can get one for your car that can be installed in about 5 minutes by yourself. And that would prevent you from being stuck if an EMP or a wave of EMPs, again, they say they come in pulses. They tested up to 42 pulses when they said, okay, this is enough. and protects you from being stuck somewhere. So if you need to bug out or something and we get hit with an EMP, you won't be stuck. They make it for the home, for a generator, for solar systems, for even your ham radio. You can get one for your motorcycle, your RV. Again, people don't think about some of these things, but you should. Marfooglenews.com/EMP. Again, there's 9 days left in that sale. Make sure to go check it out. Again, it's great that they're doing this, and they are letting us combine that. And then, Dex, let me know. I'm going to pull up the screener, but I cannot see. I'm not connected with the YouTube part of things, so I'm going to go over and see if that...
Yeah, supers are there.
Okay, thank you. And then Watchful and Alert, thank you so much. Says nothing. Thank you so much for your support, for the super sticker. Lyle Neep, what's up, everyone? And, of course, Narrow Gate says, get on Flight 777 Romans. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth that Lord Jesus shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Narrow Gate, thank you for that, and thank you for the awesome statement there. Thank you for the awesome Bible verse. And then Amber M, thank you so much for the super sticker. Jonathan Finch, hey Marf, long-time listener, thanks for what you do. And then Tower Bear, Finkel is ein home is Finkel. I don't know what that means, but awesome. Much love, Adam, Dex, and Mods. Foogle fam, Gone Girl PRS. Thank you for being a massive supporter of our channel. And again, Darlene Hartzell says, love your show, believe in Jesus today. Aliens don't take us. Jesus raptured his church. Oh, man, that is an epic statement there. And then we've got Sir Budrick. USPS just wants to optimize your ballot choice. They love us. You... theorist, right? Yes, because we're theorists. Red KS, and then, of course, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you guys for supporting it. Again, we are truly independent. And then Cheryl S., thank you for doing PayPal during the show. I really appreciate that. And then Brandon is on the phone. Let's get Brandon on the phone, and then we will talk about, of course, Japan and their live air-to-air missiles. And what will you get Brandon on? Thank you over on D-Live, Texas Rob, Carolina Roots. Chrissy, 27, thank you. Brandon, you're live on Marfoogle News. What is going on?
Yo, hey, how's it going, man?
How are you? Calling from Washington, so you're local, right?
I'm doing great. That's right, yeah. I got a story out of Olympia and another one from Auburn, and then I got a weird experience out of Puyallup, so I'm kind of all over the southern region there.
Nice to hear. What's going on?
Well, when I was, this is probably like 10 years ago, I was standing outside on a porch of a friend's house, and we were looking in the daylight sky, and there was a bright star, and it kind of started getting a little brighter, and we noticed it until in the blink of an eye, it shot away from us and left a trail behind it for like half of a second, but it just disappeared like it was going into warp speed away from us, and we just were blown away.
Now, what part of Washington was this, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, this is Auburn, like in the hills on the west part of Auburn toward Federal Way. Okay,
so you were closer to the city then, right? You weren't out in the sticks.
That's right, yeah. We were in the middle of two cities right there.
Now, I didn't hear if this was recent. Was this close to now, or was this a long time ago, or?
About a decade ago, and it's just so vivid in my mind still. It was just such a bizarre experience.
So, hey, you live in Washington. I've seen a lot of stuff here, and I grew up here, and I've lived here my entire life. Have you noticed that we have had a lot of helicopters above us right now? Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah. Big time, yeah, especially when I was in Puyallup because I was closer to the military base. But even still, I get a lot of really low-flying airplanes that are like back-to-back right above my house now.
Well, right now we've got Apaches and Chinooks. I just got video of 4 Chinooks flying over a Walmart, and then they circled back 3 times, which I thought was funny because obviously Walmart has contracts with the U.S. government, and in an event of SHTF, they would use Walmart for different purposes. They've used Walmart for different purposes in the past, especially with the border situation and everything else. They've actually kind of emptied out old Walmarts, or they use them. And they would use them for supplies. So the U.S. government would grab that stuff from Walmarts. So I thought it was crazy.
That brings up an interesting memory. I was driving for Uber, and I picked up a passenger in Seattle, and he had been drinking, clearly, and he told me that he does the facilities management for Walmarts across the entire country. So whenever they're buying a new property, whenever they're doing work on them, and this was at that time where supposedly all these water lines broke across the country at the same time, and all these Walmarts were shut down. And I just could not help, but I had to ask him. And I'm like, hey, so what's going on with all these Walmarts and all this plumbing issue? And he kind of got a little weird and quiet, and he said, yeah, we just hired the same company that did the same shoddy work. And I'm like, wait, you hired them across the entire nation? And that just didn't add up with me.
Yeah, there's a of course, that could be a money pit, right? They'll hire and overprice.
Sure.
They'll overprice stuff. They are coming out with like a Congress report on how misused funds were, or public funds were. Obviously, before we found out that we had $21 trillion that just was missing, and then after 2001 September, we had I can't even remember, Dex. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it like $2 trillion or something went missing, or gold went missing? All sorts of things went missing. It's really weird.
Big time.
Well, thanks for calling in and sharing your story, Brandon. And
if I tell you one other quick thing that was just bizarre.
Go ahead.
When I was living in Puyallup, right above the fairgrounds and some apartments, I could see the fair out my window. And this was nighttime when the fair wasn't in operation, and it was a clear night. I was on Discord with some friends playing a game, and I saw what I can only describe as a lightning strike, something that was just a massive light that is brighter and nuttier than anything I've ever seen before. And it went down right where the fairground is. And to my friends, I just stopped dead in my tracks. And I was like, oh my God, you guys, like, my hair is standing up. I can't even tell you what I just saw, but it was so strange because of how obvious it was to me. And I tried searching online. I didn't see anyone else have the same experience, but it was just something that still to my mind just sticks out like crazy.
No, that does sound nuts. Well, thank you, Brandon. Again, if other people have the same experience or had the same experience, they always tell us. And that is the cool thing about when we get callers. So say something happened 15 years ago or 10 years ago, or something happened that was very specific. We get a lot of viewers from all over the world. We have, on average, 50,000 people that watch every day. So we get some other people that end up going, hey, I've got a picture of that. That's happened several times, or I have video of that. Well, thank you so much, Brandon. And
it's weird how sometimes you can forget that you saw something, and then like all of a sudden you remember, oh my God, you almost think that I'll remember this forever, and then something has to trigger it later to remember. But you're very welcome. It's my first time calling, and I'll definitely call again. I appreciate you so much.
Well, like I always say, if it's your first time call, don't make it your last. Don't be a stranger, okay? Thank you, Brandon. That was Brandon from Washington Local. I was just pulling up pictures. Again, Walmart has a history of working with the U.S. government. They will use Walmarts in the event of a massive disaster, say Cascadia subduction zone, when that does hit. They will use Walmarts all across the West Coast for different uses. So they can basically just grab a Walmart and use it for whatever they need to use it for under, I believe, their contract. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Nice caller. Thank you. I love Winter Willow. Thank you so much for thanking the caller. I really do appreciate that. If you are new, we are always polite to the callers, no matter what they say. Now, he was a good caller. We've had callers, though, that, say, hey, I saw 11-foot Bigfoot. We don't say this is BS or blah, blah, blah. We make sure to push everybody up here and push each other up and hear everybody out. Even if you think it's like, totally crazy, there's probably something that you do that, people think that you are crazy for. So it's a great place to have a space where we can all talk about stuff, because who knows? You might hear a story that is close to your heart. Now, Japan-based USAF F-16's live air-to-air missiles, this is another further kind of sign that they're beefing up. Now, remember, if you want to call like Brandon, 2244-00-MARF. That's, again, 2244-00-6273. And then make sure to press option 4 when you get to our phone tree. Flying far from their home in Japan, the 4 F-16s, each armed with 6 missiles, executed operations in one of the tensest areas in the planet. It says the 4 U.S. Air Force F-16 fighter jets that recently flew a mission over the highly contested South China Sea were photographed landing at their home base, Yokota Air Base in Japan, at the end of their return flight. The images confirm that these jets were armed to counter air operations with a heavy load of live air-to-air missiles. The jets' appearance in the South China Sea last week coincided with the biggest presence of PLA's aircraft in Taiwan's Southwest Air Defense Identification Zone, otherwise known as the ADIZ, in recent times. 25 craft in all. Now, why this matters, obviously, you can see how they are preparing to defend. Now, China has been going in record numbers. We've never seen this before, and I can say that safely because they have broken the record week after week of their dry runs to go over to Taiwan. At one point, they took 20. Now I believe it is up to 35 jets and bomb-carrying huge boomers that are flying into their ADIZ. So into their actual airspace, these guys are flying in. And imagine 35 planes in formation coming at you. That is a dry run. That is something out of a movie. That is something out of, a scene of Pearl Harbor or something. Very, very, very telling. And remember, this is all happening at the exact same time. They are trying to take Taiwan. This is coordinated. They talk to Russia. Russia is saying, hey, we're going for Ukraine. China is amassing. Remember, they're both amassing troops somewhere. China is amassing ships, amassing navy, and amassing troops in the South China Sea at the Spratly Islands, and even civilian ships. 200 giant ships. These are ships. These aren't boats. These are not little sailboats. These are giant ships. And they are amassing those at the same time that Russia is amassing, now they say up to 150,000. I'm calling it here first that we're going to see over 200,000 troops on the border of Ukraine, that the U.S. is setting up, apparently, according to Russia, research labs and some sort of thing that they're going to use as a defense along their border in Ukraine. And then, of course, I've talked to somebody that basically says that they are trying to exhaust every single avenue they can to not have Russia, pull the bang bang. Because that is, I know. I was on the same boat as everybody, I don't know if this is just this or that. There has to be a miracle right now for Russia not to take Ukraine. Now, by saying that, people go, that means we're going to conflict. From what I hear is they are saying, we will help you. The U.S. is saying, we'll help you, Ukraine. We'll give you stuff. We'll give you money. We'll even try to pay Russia, but we will not go to war for you. But that's not what the public is saying. That's not what the admin is saying. They're publicly saying, we've got your back. We'll support you. We've got your back all the way. Somebody that we know is actually over there as an administrative role and has been in the military for 37 years. So I think I believe them over anything I see in public. And again, that's just our theory on that. I have to say that because we don't have back on that. And if we did, we would share it with you and link it. So just want to clarify that. Dex, by the way, thank you for doing all. I know that you've got your hands full in the back. I'm going to be covering the Marine Commandant reveals new mission preparing for China conflict. I don't know how many places it has to be written on the walls for people to see that at least something is going to go down. It says Marine Corps Commandant General David H. Berger has revealed new plans for shifting the Corps' mission to prepare for a future conflict with China. Scouting and screening operations. Remember the kind of drills that they have been doing over the last 2 years. They've been island hopping. They've been doing a series of naval and island hopping and dry runs for boom runs and water defense, artillery on the coasts, artillery in Alaska. You don't believe me? We have links. In fact, if you type in, if you go to our website, marfooglenews.com, because we archive everything, there's a search bar that is, it actually interlaces with all of our stories. Type in Alaska artillery into our website. You'll find the plethora of articles that we've shown you on that. They're moving stuff around. The U.S. is moving stuff around. Russia is also, of course, building up in the Arctic. So on top of the 150,000 alleged troops on the Ukraine border, set up with hospital tents, set up with a full forward operating base, they also have this huge buildup in the Arctic, and they're basically blowing up a whole new strait. For what? Why would you need another strait? Why would you need another pathway? Well, you could say for commerce, but I would also say for conflict times. Strategically, if they had that to themselves, they could have a pathway between them and their allies, or they could possibly block other straits. Which again, it was kind of weird. Think about it, if you wanted to block a major strait. What happened with the Suez? That cargo ship that blocked that entire strait, that took a week to handle, and you couldn't go through. If that was longer than that, if they weren't successful at that, any military boat going from one side over to the middle E would have had to go around the other way. It would have took 24-day delay for a U.S. carrier to go around Africa, deal with Somalia and all of the pirates that go around, going around that way, would have to go all the way around, and it would be a 24-day delay to get to where they were going. So I would say in the event of SHTF or a major WW3 scenario, they would immediately try to take out big waterways like Suez or like Taiwan Strait, which, or like the Panama Canal, which basically China runs. So I would see that as something. Dex, if you have anything to add to this, make sure to jump in. I know that you're busy on the phones. Again, the number is 224-400-MARF. It says the new approach upends the traditional mission of the Marines, who for decades have put amphibious assault from the sea to the land as central priority. Given the realities of geography and proliferating precision strike regime, the Navy and the Joint Force will need an inside or stand-in force that can operate persistently within the weapons engagement zone, or the WEZ, of a peer adversary. So somebody who's somebody's up here with us. General Berger wrote in an article published Thursday in the U.S. Army's journal Military Review. It says these same forces will remain inside an adversary WEZ to provide necessary support to naval and joint campaigning should competition escalate to war.
Look, they don't do this for nothing, right? Like, we train to train, and we make sure we train for everything. But when they get to this level, they're doing specific things because they know. And it's not just, the conspiracy side of you may say, oh, well, everything's sort of orchestrated or whatnot. Okay, fine. Then if that's the case, this is what they're doing, right? And if it's not, then this is what they expect, right? So either one of those two things leads to the same outcome, which is, you could rewind the clock, 15 years ago, and it was all talking about ME. And what do? We spent, the last 2 decades, with our industrial complex over there in ME, right? So this is the writing on the wall. This is the warning, the precursor. And by the way, this isn't like the ME. This is a huge, potential superpower that's our wannabe superpower, right? Which probably, obviously has more people than any other country on the planet, and, is trying to have the largest military in the entire world. So I don't know. Writing's on the wall on this one, in my opinion.
Thank you, Dex. And I hope everybody was able to hear that. You got a bit digital there for a second. Exactly what Dex said. This is the writing is on the walls. I guess the only reason people don't believe something like this is, one, they are so far away from the last conflict that we're not used to actually thinking that this could happen. We've seen so many escalations that just all of a sudden disappear. But they don't disappear just because they go, oh, sorry. They disappear because there are people at work, bringing these subjects back down. Things get extremely hot, but the public never sees it. That's why the public is trained to just not, it's a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. The stuff that happened with the Russian sub, I believe, ties into something here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a Russian research sub so secretive that even we say that our information on it is vague. We know kind of how it was built and what it's nicknamed after, but we don't know what tools were on it. Caught fire a couple years ago. And this thing supposedly caught fire, and they said that 14 Russian sailors / specialists / their version of Navy SEAL scientists, whoever was on that ship, 14 of the 28 or 29 passed away in this fire. But yet the submarine was able to be towed back to Russia. That day, they, of course, had Russia go into an emergency escalation meeting with their Ministry of Defense. You had the UK have the Cobra meeting. So they went and met with all of their advisors. The U.S., at the time, it was T-Man and Pence. Pence was on a flight, and they say that he turned around his flight and went back to the White House when they found out about this submarine thing. Then they changed the story and said, oh, well, actually, he never left. He never left the White House because of this, even though he was publicly scheduled to go to this thing. And then I think they changed it back again. Either way, and we checked T-Man's schedule that day. Dex, do you remember? We actually, we checked everybody's schedules of what they were supposed to be doing publicly. T-Man's schedule was cleared, which is very rare that a president isn't doing anything. Unless he was at Mar-a-Lago. And he wasn't at Mar-a-Lago. He wasn't, he wasn't at one of his, he wasn't on a trip. He was in the thick of it, right? That's not even the kicker, though. At their funerals, at these 14 sailors' funerals, their superior said that these men died avoiding, or I'm sorry, these men are heroes and they averted a planetary catastrophe. What in the world happened that it was a planetary catastrophe? If you don't believe me, go look it up. It is absolutely insane. In fact, planetary catastrophe, if you search on marfooglenews.com in our search bar, you will find the articles and the information I'm talking about. Pretty crazy stuff. Stormy Weather, thank you so much for your massive support. Stormy Weather, stock up, pray up. Stormy Weather, thank you, and thank you. Drives in with 3 Ninja Guineas. Jesus is coming soon. Hang in there. Trust him. Stormy Weather, thank you, and thank you. Running with Scissors, much love. Much love to you, and thank you for being around 3 years now. Executive Impact, thank you for following. Joanne, 1125, and Blue Wildflower. Thank you, everybody who is new over on DLive, everybody who is new on YouTube. Miss Jammer 1, thank you for gifting out badges to folks over there. Thank you so much. Johnny Fry Guy, Bear Claws, Scooby-Doo Do Right, and to Rave Da Spirit, I think that's how you say it. Thank you for following. So they're obviously shifting their focus right now. AFRICOM, Chinese naval base in Africa set up to support aircraft carriers. It says a recently completed pier at the Chinese naval base near the entrance to the Red Sea is large enough to support an aircraft carrier. The top U.S. commander for Africa told lawmakers on Tuesday. It says, referring to the Chinese naval base in Djibouti, U.S. Africa Commander Army General Stephen Townsend told the House Armed Services Committee that the People's Lib was expanding its existing naval installation adjacent to a Chinese-owned commercial deep-water port and also seeking other military basing options elsewhere on the continent. Their first overseas military base, their only one, is in Africa, and they have just expanded that by adding a significant pier that can even support their aircraft carriers in the future. It says around the continent they are looking for other basing opportunities, Townsend told the HASC. It says that the base, formerly opened in 2017, was developed to support the Chinese anti-piracy mission off the coast of Somalia. This is exactly what I was talking about, the Somalian pirates. Cargo ships that do have to go that way, that are forced to go that way, have to have armed guards, 50 cals, on the side of the boats, and they regularly actually get breached. They even have escape boats that are these pod things that are airtight that can launch off in the case of, pirates taking over or whatever, right? I believe they're even bulletproof. They're like little kind of waterproof tubs, right? And this is another instance where they could be hiding things. We know for a fact that they went from half of our size naval-wise to now the largest navy in the world. China has the largest navy in the world by over 100 ships. They surpassed us by 70, almost a year ago, I think. Maybe 8 months ago. By 70 ships. Now they're over 100. Some say that they are mass-producing ships under the guise of a hidden kind of tarping system, basically. It's not tarp. It's probably huge, gigantic structures like what they did before. So we knew they were building massive amounts of ships that were not on any public docket. There was nothing to say that they were going to surpass us. But then they caught actual ground-level photography of these humongous covered structures that are meant to hide from satellites. So anybody looking from satellite would just see a plain piece of ground. And they even do things to make it basically look like just it's a hill, right? But underneath that hill, they were mass-producing ships. So we didn't know that they were actually being made. They're making these giant underwater tunnel systems for submarines. They're also making a system that basically they can go and hide tons and tons of ships, and nobody will ever spot them from the sky. They are the manufacturing company. Everybody underestimates China, but China has stolen all of our designs. They've hacked into us. We know this. And everybody's pointing the other way. I think probably Russia is probably part of it. People think, oh, it's all orchestrated, it's all one big show. That's great. But guess what? In the show, they'll actually have the action scene with all of the explosions. Because guess what? The director is going to be sitting in a cozy, comfy, billion-dollar home. People think it's in our nature to think that these people have a soul and they wouldn't let millions of innocent people perish over money. Heavens no. Women and children and all. Yeah. Yes, they would. And I don't understand that people. You have to realize that every single government does horrific things. They have to, as a government, pretty much. They take out leaders. They do secret operations. They lie to us. What's crazy is we know they lie to us, but they lie to us for our own good.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
So one of the things on this particular topic is that this base is near the entrance to the Red Sea from the Gulf of Aden. I don't know if you covered that already, but that turns it into the potential of a major choke point for maritime traffic that is heading up to the Suez Canal. So when we talk about their positioning, we've talked about the long term, the company that's been managing the Panama Canal for the longest time has been a Chinese operated company, right? We talk about what they're doing in South China Sea to try to take control of that shipping lane, right? And now here this turns into another one. It seems it's extremely obvious, in my opinion, that it looks very strategic. And obviously you don't go build a base if it's not a strategic location for you, but this is a strategic opportunity for them.
Exactly. And it's right in front of our faces, but a lot of people aren't going to notice until it's too late. I don't see how people aren't seeing this. And, front and center is everything else. Everybody's focused on colors. That's for sure. One thing I will ask you, just a little side note. So, if you cannot say or do something because of the color of this, is that not racist? But yet, what's funny is there's a ton of that going around where a certain color can't say or do a ton of things. Seems to me like it's almost keeping it alive. Japan troops won't get involved if China invades Taiwan. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga says. Sorry if I said that just absolutely horrible. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga. Yoshihide Suga. Oh, you should hide your sugar. I got it. It says it says Japanese Prime Minister has emphasized that despite reference to Taiwan in a joint statement released after his recent meeting with U.S. Pres. JB, there is no possibility of Japanese forces being committed to any military contingency surrounding Taiwan. In response to a question from an opposition politician in the Diet on Tuesday about the details of Japan's commitment to Taiwan, Suga replied to the statement, says, does not presuppose military involvement at all. Analysts say that Japan's constitution would block the military from taking part in combat in the event China attempted to take Taiwan by force. Although Japan could provide a range of logistical or rear echelon support to the United States. So they're saying that they could help transport stuff, and they could also help money-wise. Kind of sounds like what our source was saying about what they're trying to help Ukraine with. They're like, hey, we're not going to get involved, but we will help you with this. We'll give you the weapons. We'll give you the money. We'll try to pay them off. We'll try to, shake their hand and say, hey, buddy, just chill out, buddy. Hold me back. The wording of the statement, the first document signed by the Japanese and U.S. leaders, refer to Taiwan since the diplomatic relations between Tokyo and Beijing were normalized in 1972, has been closely scrutinized. Biden and Suga called for peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, the first reference to Taiwan, which Beijing claims as its territory. In a joint statement in more than 50 years, they also said that they would counter China's intimidation in the Asia-Pacific region. And then it says China accused Japan and the U.S. of sowing division and said that the two countries were inciting group confrontation on the weekend, which, as we covered, is, of course, the PLA, which oversees the Taiwan Strait, deployed dozens of H-6K strategic bombers in a 9-hour live fire drill, according to state television. And then we sent carriers, and then so did Japan. So nothing's going on. Look the other way. We have Adam, a first-time caller, here in just a second. But first off, I do want to say thank you to, let's see here, Cheryl. Cheryl S., I appreciate that more than you know. And then let the truth is out there. Stormy Weather, N95 Hero, Cynthia Lynn, Jimmy Shively. Thank you guys. SPSM, Kashara, Lisa K, Occam's Razor, DM Walken, and of course Dixie Doe. Thank you guys for being awesome. Kelly2334, thank you for being amazing. Adam is a first-time caller and actually has some video. Chinooks over eastern Kansas. Dex, let's get Adam on. And will you get Adam on? I'll load that up. If you guys want to help support us, again, we are independent. You can also do so by actually going out and checking out NordVPN. Nord Virtual Private Network is, again, one of the easiest, virtual private network is out there. It hides your IP address. It also protects you in public places when you are using Wi-Fi. One really cool thing that I actually just discovered is certain Bitcoin type stuff is actually blocked in certain countries. So you can also use it for that, for separate things. And you can access Netflix and other media that would normally be blocked where you are. Again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/VPN with the special savings code Marfoogle to get a humongous savings. And thank you guys. It helps the show as well, and it helps us expand. All right, Adam, you are live on Marfoogle News.
What's going on, Adam?
Adam, what is going on?
Oh, nothing, man. I just thought I'd send you guys this because you said to keep an eye out, and I inadvertently happened to have my eye out when I was getting on the highway and seen these, and did all I could just to not hit the bridge, but I got what I had, needed to get, so I can share it with you and everybody else.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to pull up the link here, so then everybody can see it.
The best I could on, that limited time I had, because they were going pretty quick.
Oh, no worries. Let's push play on that. Wow. Okay, I was expecting one or two.
Yeah, there are 5. At least 5 that I've seen anyway. I don't know what color they are, but they seem to be black to me. But I actually work in a defunct naval base, and there's Chinooks and private jets and planes flying in and out of there all the time, and you usually see the the brown ones, tan ones, whatever, coming and going. But these here just didn't look like the typical ones that I would normally see.
Now, you said that these were the color black? Is that what you said? Or they're usually black?
Well, yeah, what it looked like.
That's we've seen, that would be, I guess, for night or urban stuff, right? I don't know. I'm not an expert on it, but all of them that I've seen lately have been a darker color as well. I just remember even a couple years ago when I was starting out this channel, I saw like a lot of the green ones, or you'd see the kind of light tan ones. But now they're black. I've been looking at it a lot lately just because the different color helicopters are used by different agencies. I believe Homeland Security is actually white. I could be wrong, though. Dex, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, well, great video. And again, this is a good point to actually, I'm glad you sent this in, because everyone, remember that we have a tab on our website called Play My Video. And if you get video just like Adam did, you can send that in and we can show it. Now, if we have a ton of this, we would actually start to kind of get a feel for what's going on. Now, when you have your phone, most phones right now, if you double tap the power button, if you're not tech savvy, usually they'll open up the camera right away. Boom. It just goes right into the camera. So remember that. Get the video, even if it's sideways or upside down, and send it in. Well, Adam, thank you for that. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
No, that was it. I just wanted to show you guys that. But they prayed up, as they say, and always count on Jesus. He's got everything. It's all good.
And again,
in the meantime,
Kansas.
we need to just watch out for each other.
Well, Adam, that perfect way to put it. And thank you so much. Adam, you have a wonderful night. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out. So if you have, some people go, oh, well, now the enemies know about, know that they're flying there. The enemies have satellites monitoring things at all times. So there's nothing, really, it's only us that are out of the loop. We've had certain videos. The one where T-Man was on, it looked like he was on a boat. There was no way to explain that. If you saw my video or if that's how you found me, that video, there was... at the very end there, a lot of people thought that he might be under protection or something like this. Well, there was a video that he looked like he was on a boat. Somebody says, well, now the enemies know his location. They know he's on a boat. First off, if you knew he was on a boat, that wouldn't help you that much. But second, they would be analyzing that video, and they would have caught that before some, random YouTuber. A lot of people were saying that. And just remember, anything our presidents or their presidents do, there is an entire Pentagon wing dedicated to watching their every statement, watching how they say it. They've got, psych people watching it. They've got body language people watching it. They've got every sort. And they are also watching us. Remember, China has, I believe, this is I should separate this fact from theory. They have possible backdoors into almost every surveillance camera. It's incredibly scary that just a giant percentage of these Wi-Fi cameras and these online cameras, or even the hardwired systems that use the internet, those systems are made in China. Dex, didn't we covered how that I don't remember the percentage, but it was something insane.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. There's a whole lot. Daewoo and some others are some major ones, and they all had back doors. That was what they reported, was they were all pretty much insecure. Like you had all these stores, all these businesses, you had even homes. You go to Costco and you'd buy one of those camera systems and you'd deploy it in your small business, right? And they all they turned out that a lot of them had back doors in them that they could just get in and get access to everything.
And that's exactly what we thought, and that was, of course, a theory at the time. And then official news came out about it, and they said, yeah, they do have backdoors. So that, what does it mean? It's like Batman. In one of the movies, he's got this system where it pings off all the cell phones, and he sees like this X-ray of everybody, and somebody in the movie goes like, "Is this even right to do? Like, you can see everything," and he's like, "No, but this is how we do it." And it shows that he can basically access the entire world in this like Batovision. But that's probably what they have. And I'm sure we have some sort of access to theirs too. And then we have Putin warns against crossing Russia's red lines, talks up military advancement. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin warned against provoking his country in this annual State of the Union speech Wednesday, promising a swift retaliation against anyone who crossed Russians' red lines. Moscow will respond harshly, quickly, and asymmetrically to foreign provocations, Putin told an audience of Russia's top military officials and lawmakers, adding that he hoped no foreign actor would cross Russia's red lines, according to a Reuters translation. Says Putin has also touted the country's planned investment in expanded military education, hypersonic weapons, and intercontinental ballistic missiles. But Russia wants peace and arms control agreements, he stressed simultaneously. So he's saying, we'll kick your ass if you cross our red line, but we also want some sort of agreement and peace. No, it sounds like they might feel like they need to be on the defensive. Who knows? Like I said yesterday, we don't know. It sounds like China and Russia are both talking about threatening the U.S. dollar as far as having their own backed thing. There is rumors of that happening, right? What has happened to every other country that has tried to encroach on the U.S. dollar? So again, the U.S. dollar is used to trade everything. But if there was another option, so say a smaller country could go, well, we need this. Oh, we have to use U.S. dollars to buy it. Well, if somebody else has a currency that is backed by something like gold or something like that, well, then think about this. A country that is rich in gold but poor in money, they could then go through them. It says the comments came in the final half hour of the 90-minute speech, which was prominently focused on Russia's fight against the Surveil and domestic economic and social issues. The speech came against a backdrop of deteriorating tensions with the EU and U.S. And then, of course, the sanctions that everybody's popping and throwing at each other. You're catching what I'm throwing. Ukraine President Zelensky is ready for war, which Russia vows to stand to the last man. Those are some pretty big words. That's like the last, the last battle cry. It says Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky on Tuesday night warned his citizens that the country would stand to the last man in the event of a conflict with Russia as tensions continue to build along the border between the two nations. Does Ukraine want conflict? No. Is it ready for it? Yes, Zelensky said during a Tuesday address. According to the New York Times, our principle is simple. Ukraine does not want a conflict first, but Ukraine always stands to the last man. Zelensky's statements come on the eve of Russian President Vladimir Putin's annual State of the Union address Wednesday. During his speech, Zelensky addressed Putin directly, urging him to meet for a peace summit in Donbass, a war-torn region where Ukraine's military has battled Russian-backed separatists for years. It says, quote, "It is impossible to bring peace on a tank," Zelensky said in Russian before adding, "I am ready to invite you to meet anywhere in the Ukrainian Donbass where there is conflict." And this is after, I want to say, a day or two after he actually went to the front lines. He went to Donbass, however you say it. It says, so far the U.S. and NATO have employed provocative actions with at least 2 warships in the Black Sea, the Hill reported, due to the increasing tensions between the two nations. And other countries are there too as well. Other countries have their warships there as well. It says in recent days, Russia has amassed the largest concentration of forces in the region in years. And remember, the second largest, the last largest, they annexed Crimea, raising concern that the country may plan to invade. Tensions between the two nations have since reached their highest levels since 2014, when Russia annexed Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula and large-scale fighting broke out in the country's east. That conflict has already cost 14,000 people. Russian troops now number at least 40,000 in Crimea, with another 40,000 in regions along the border, which, by the way, has been updated to at least 150,000. So, I guess it's kind of like people are finally going to come around to this. But you heard it. We were talking about this way before here, so you know the Marfoogle family is one of the smartest audiences out there. You guys really are. You're the most open-minded and fastest. You guys send me emails. I see a lot of you are just so on top of stuff that you know about it weeks before it's happening. You guys truly are something special.
So, Adam, we didn't talk about the ME today in any of our coverage, but something had just recently happened during the show. So actually there's an update. If you want to go grab the tweet that's in the screener, and I'll sort of give a quick update that the IS country
allegedly happening now.
Allegedly has raised their alert after intercepting something incoming towards potentially one of their nuclear reactors. And then if you see there's even a video from another person allegedly happening there now, if you want to play that.
Holy moly. Says, just in, the IS military raises alert after intercepting a missile possibly directed at the Dimona nuclear reactor. Holy moly. Okay, this is in IS. Ray L. The Mage on Twitter. Now here, I just want to just shake everybody in Europe, in Australia, and in the U.S., and in other places that are not used to this. Imagine waking up to that. Imagine having that be something you've heard in your life, period, but let alone period, but a lot. These countries have dealt with this kind of thing for a long time. People are used to missiles flying over top of them. Loud explosions that, somebody else goes, oh, it's probably just fireworks. I'm sure you guys have heard that. Oh, it's probably the gun range down there. It's probably fireworks. Here, this is serious stuff. And eventually, something's not going to go right. That's why I ask people to just think about this. You don't have to be scared. Please don't be scared. There is no place for fear. That's why I don't get people say fear monger. There's no fear. Why would you fear? In fact, if you're keeping up with this step by step, you should be on top of everything. You should not be afraid because you know better than almost any other civilian that's watching The Bachelor or watching, 60-day couple or 90-day fiance or something. You are on top of this. You are going to know before your neighbors. And when something does happen, you're going to jump out in your car and you're going to get out on the street, or you're going to go down the street and you're going to bounce out. They're going to be sitting there going, what happened? I don't get it. No, this can't be real. Imagine this. This will be real. And I can't tell you enough, people are just going to be asleep until the last alarm. The last snooze. The final snooze. Dex, thanks for the update. That was the mage.
That's a creepy sound, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just I have dreams of that sound, and it just
We have them here because we have tornado sirens, and they'd run them once a month as a test, so we're kind of used to them. But we hear them, and when we hear them, and it's not that test day, we know, hey, there's a tornado. Go to the basement.
Yeah, imagine living in a place that doesn't have a single tornado, and has that go off on a weekly basis. That's scary. Let's see here. Yes, against the red lines, and then we have. This is an IRGC drone takes clear pictures of the aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower in the Persian Gulf. Footage released by State TV. So, are they saying that there is military that they're not declaring?
No, I think that what they're saying is they took a drone and were able to fly right over top of our aircraft carrier. I mean, would we normally allow that to happen?
Well, think about this. People are like, oh, well, it's just a drone. Well, think about this. What if that had something that could have dropped? And they have now miniaturized a ton of stuff. They could have just taken out the Dwight D. Eisenhower. If they had something small enough, miniaturized nuke, drop that, just gravity, boom. That's pretty insane. That's pretty crazy. That helicopter's literally about to take off. That's disclosed.tv. Great Twitter account. I don't know if they have a channel, but I follow them on Twitter, and they're great. All right, and then Indonesian submarine with 53 on board missing after expected torpedo test. Indonesia's military said Wednesday that it had asked Singapore and Australia for help in the search for a submarine with 53 crew aboard after losing contact with the vessel off the coast of Bali. It's true that the KRE Nanggala 402 lost contact since early this morning around 3 a.m., said First Admiral Julius Widojono. I think I actually said that right. Widojono. He said that the Indonesian Navy was searching for the sub. Dex is, and I feel like an idiot for not knowing this, is Indonesia a nuclear state? I've got 50 things I'm running here, so
That's a great question. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll find out.
Dummy. Just kidding. Do you guys know? Put it in the chat below. Is Indonesia a nuclear capable country? I can't remember. And then Bound by Mountains. Thank you, and thank you. It says, Elite will destroy this planet before losing control. It's easier to eliminate pop than what happened in 1776 will never happen again. Bound by Mountains, rockin' forever, I think. Thank you, and I appreciate it, and nice to meet you. Zelda, check BBC News for is attacking Damask. Zelda, will you check that Zelda comment and check that out, Dex?
Oh, that's what we just covered.
Oh, okay, got it.
I think there's also other alleged people saying, hey, start to look in the airspace about something going back, but that's where we are right now.
Aaron Lynn says, private eyes, they're watching you. Love peaceful waters. That is awesome, Aaron Lynn. Thank you for the shout out to a fellow Foogle. And then Total Vagabonds with lots of love from Ireland. Awesome. Thank you, Vagabonds. Again, tell me how it is in Ireland. And then we have Stormy7572. Thank you, Adam, for bringing us all together and giving us a chance to meet and chat. Love you and Dex. Thank you again, Stormy7572, a longtime Foogle fan. The Kraken Nemesis says, sorry, forgot to put, it was started by 6 guys on TikTok. Okay, so obviously there's a previous one. 6 guys started the National RAPE Day, April 24th trend. Eyes open, be vigilant and aware of your surroundings. Mainstream news is calling it an unverified, but still be safe, everyone. I'm surprised that even lasted a second on TikTok even. Maria Rebecca Gonzalez, thank you, Adam, and for keeping us updated. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Ilea, thank you for your corny jokes and understanding my humor. Relate to your greatness and not to your weakness. Quote from my Yogi Teabag. Ilea, you are awesome. Andrew Gagner says, whoever thought Reforger would make a comeback? The Fulda Gap keeps moving further and further east. Stay safe and stay all well. Diane Moses, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And the Kraken Nemesis says there is a weird rumor about April 24th trending as National RAPE Day. No verification, but heard it from numerous sources. Thank you, Kraken Nemesis. I got it. Again, sorry, it does take me time to get to some of these. I always do. K Toll, thank you so much for your support. Dan Shun 1. Marfoogle News, find the truth, the only news I use. And then Crazy Owl, TNS reports sirens going off in Israel. Isn't that just absolutely nuts? Also, guys, check out INL, Is News Live. Good guys over there. Stephen Benoon, Lyle Neep, Narrow Gate, I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for supporting there. Let's go over to Taylor, another first-time caller, asking a question here, it looks like. Calling from Indiana. Let's get Taylor, first-time caller, on the phone. And Steven, thank you for going over to PayPal, says, love you guys. Thanks for all you do. Steven, thank you for going over to PayPal during the show. Appreciate that greatly. And let's see. Kelly2334, hey, I thought I would see you today. End Times. Much love from D-Live 2. Sorry, my eyes are getting worse. Like, I can't see the small stuff now. It's insane. Jem Scooby-Doo right. It's probably looking at the screen every day for 3 hours. Probably bad. It's bad, okay?
Adam, give me a minute and I'll get Taylor back on.
Okay, no problem. So he's having problems here. I just want to take this opportunity to thank every new person that is on this channel and over on Marfoogle News. We surpassed 180,000 yesterday, we surpassed 180,000 yesterday, and then by the end of the night, we surpassed 181,000. So I really appreciate you guys. It was just 3 weeks ago that we surpassed 170,000. So again, I believe we just picked up 15,000 people. So there's a lot of new people over on that channel, and that is kind of washing over to this channel. So if you are new from that, thank you so much. And I appreciate that everybody is responding so well to the shorter videos. It really does show you that those shorter videos are a valuable thing because people can share them out. You guys can't really share this 2-hour show out. I do, though, appreciate everybody who actually goes out of the way to share this show with somebody they know, either that be on Facebook or on Twitter or wherever. Taylor, you're live on Marfoogle News. Thank you so much for calling in today.
Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you so much. I just had a quick question for all of us that kind of know what's going on and what's to come. What is the best way to prepare, and are there any list of good resources to kind of help family members and things that I feel like I scare them sometimes when I, try to reach out and tell them, hey, we should start getting this. Let's get water, let's get food, seeds, etc. But is there like a go-to list just in case there is conflict or boomers,
Okay, well, so there's many things. I have worked on my own prep and my own stuff, and I am not an expert, so what I have done is I've turned to my friends. Luckily, I have a huge group of preppers in my, literal group of friends. So everything that I have, I always get to ask them. But for somebody like you that doesn't have a huge network of preppers around you, when you say, well, what kind of rice do I have? Or what kind of thing lasts the longest? That's where I say that to get involved in communities like Survival Prepping, Alaska Prepper, guys like, somebody like, in fact, Dex, we should put a list together today of all of our kind of friends that are doing these preppers. Alaska, his specialty is telling you how to do it affordably. So how to prep, but to do it at a good price. He takes his payday preps. Survival Living has a huge range of things that he is now covering. We have a ton of just really great preppers in this Foogle family, and I'm probably missing like just perfect ones right in front. But what I would say is, food and water. I just watched a video on, I think it was it was a channel that is 180,000 subscribers. It was a man and a wife talking about stupid prepping advice. And what their stupid prepping advice was, don't get 25 years of food. I don't know if I agree with that. They said, well, by the time, in 10 years, it's going to be so gross you don't want to eat it. I don't understand kind of where they're coming from, but I do kind of understand they're saying any SHTF event would either last, 2-3 years. And if it does last 25 years, then you have kind of bigger worries than that. How are you going to secure that food and water? I would highly recommend at least having 1 year of food and water. At least 2 years if you really want to go, but don't do it all at the same time. Go to resources like Survival Living, Alaska Prepper, people like this, and we'll make a list of channels. And I would say spend your off time. If you have a 15-minute break from, daily life, watch one of their videos, watch another video, watch another video. After a month of watching just 15 minutes here and there, you will have a breadth of knowledge. And that is really important to have. That knowledge is more important than the physical stocks in your closet. I would definitely have a book with what you can eat in the wild. What you can eat after everything goes south, because you're not going to have a Google to ask what berries you can eat. You're not going to have a Google to ask, what is drinkable, what is edible. So that's just, I guess, that's my biggest advice. Prepare knowledge-wise now. Get it in your brain. Don't have or print it out, because you won't have a computer or a Google to ask. I don't know if that answers your question.
Absolutely. I thank you so much.
Well, how are you doing though? By the way, this is your first call, Taylor. Where are you from? It says
I've been
Indiana.
From South Bend, Indiana. Yep. I've been listening a while. I love the content. You are my go-to person for real news, definitely. And I thank you very much.
Well, thank you as well. And again, if it's your first time call, don't make it your last. If there's other subjects you want to call in. I just wanted to give you a chance to say whatever you needed to say as well. Sorry if I went on a rant. But I do think that it is really important that you get to know these people and get to know their communities, because you know what else? It's not just like somebody like Alaska Prepper. It's the people in their community. There are professional preppers that are there that say if you go to a 20-minute live video that he does, there are people that have devoted their life to prepping. So if you have a really weird, odd question, there's 200 people watching, you can ask, hey, what is the best kind of brown rice, and what can I store it in if I don't have this or I don't have that? Somebody's going to know that answer in that chat. It's better than Google. It's real people that have real experience. So,
and Adam, if I can add, we're going to be launching our Prepper Minutes.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing that with a lot of these preppers you talked about, like Survival Living, User Prepper, Faithful Prepper, Alaska Prepper, Bones, and even maybe Rip Curl. A lot of folks have been putting together content in these small, short nuggets that we're going to be able to share out with everybody. And that'll also help introduce you to a lot of the prepper community and these folks who you can then go learn about and learn more about what they're teaching.
We want to help smaller channels get to our level or bigger. Our goal is to have everybody surpass us, and that is serious. You know, everybody looks at this like other people are competition. I don't think of it that way, and I never have. That's why we've helped thousands of channels at this point get bigger, because I believe that if we are a network, we need to be a network. We don't need to be any higher or lower than anybody else. That's why I look to smaller channels for advice. So, Taylor, I really hope you get some value out of our coming Prepper Minutes. I think they're going to be great. They're basically 1 minute, 2 minute videos that are going to tell you all sorts of really great information, and those are releasing very soon. So thank you for reminding me about that, Dex. Taylor, is there anything else you want to say before you go?
Nope. Just I appreciate you guys, Adam, Dex. Thank you both.
Well, I appreciate you. I just want you to know that. I really, really mean it. Thank you so much, and just want to say I'm so very thankful for having people like you here with me. Okay? Have a good night, Taylor.
Thanks.
All right,
you too.
God bless. Sean777, 3 Moons, End Times, Vibron, Marca Drums. Thank you guys. Everybody that's here. Tata Souza, thank you for following. Lots of really great people. Maui Racing Realtor, thank you. Oh, and then BOD, and this is not my screen name. I love the cowbell. I'm trying to figure out a way I can put it into the whole thing. I'm going to use it in Shoutras soon. I actually got 2 cowbells, which is pretty cool. All right, Dex, the other content.
Yeah, Adam, there's always other content. Guys, if you're not heading over to marfooglenews.com, you're missing the other half of what we put together. And that's a lot of stuff that we either can't talk about, don't have time for, or especially stuff we can't talk about. So make sure you go to marfooglenews.com, take a look at the website, click on this thumbnail, click on past thumbnails from our larger shows. We always put together additional content there. So it's a great resource to go to every time we do a show. Head over to marfooglenews.com afterwards and check out everything else that we can't talk about.
It's a one-stop shop. We spend a lot of time. People say, well, I could just do that myself. Yes, you can. You can spend 3 or 4 hours scouring the internet to put all of this together. You very well can. We do that for you. So instead, if you just want to sit on the pot and read the news, you can do so in one spot, and you legitimately have 30 stories to read, and they're picked for their value. We don't just put fluff stuff like, oh, our speed bumps really a good thing. We're not going to put that crap in there. We're going to put the stuff that we believe is going to affect you or that you should know about. We also try to put a balanced level in there. I believe it does lean one direction on the web-only content, but we try to keep it as neutral as we can. And we try to keep it as positive as we can. I did say some remarks, and I was kind of smart ass about it the other day, and I actually I apologize about that. I said something about somebody else that I don't know personally, so I undid that. So the thing is for 3 years, I have never put anybody else down. And basically what I said is that something about reliability, something like that. It's not my place to do that. And I apologize because I have to live by what I say. You know, I have to walk the walk and talk the talk. And I also have to hold myself accountable when I make a mistake and say I'm sorry and apologize and just realize that I'm not perfect and I'm sure I make mistakes as well. So I really appreciate all of you guys, and it's been a really crazy ride with all of you here. And my family, thanks to your families, and I really do appreciate every one of you. A lot of people talk about subs. As we went up a couple thousand there, it's like that's a number that a lot of smaller creators I see, especially, they worry about their subs. I lost 40 subs. I lost 100 subs. I lost 1,000 subs. They're not subs. Those are people. And whether you lost them or gained them, each one of those numbers, if you're doing it correctly, is a human being, a real person. And I think it's absolutely very humbling to have 40,000 people watch a day or 50,000 people watch every single day. And for you replay watchers, can't say thank you guys enough. Thank you for sharing out our stuff and allowing us to reach thousands of people. Just really appreciate you. And Dex does too. Dex, do you want to say anything?
Absolutely. No, I can't. You say it, and you say it for both of us all the time, but I completely agree, and really appreciate everyone in the Foogle fam out there. I mean, it's not a family without every one of them.
We have whole conversations about certain just little things that we see in chat and people that are just absolutely so nice. We talk about how we see, one of you doing something amazing for somebody else. I see my community doing things inside the community, and you guys are helping each other. That is, a lot of YouTube channels say that their community is different, but ours, I really do feel, has something. And I hope we never lose it. All right. Dex, thank you so much for your service today. Salute.
Great show, brother.
My internet
Much
brother.
love.
And thank you, everybody that supported today. Michelle Allport says, new viewer from month PP1 sent me. So glad to find like-minded crowd. Exactly. I mean, and that's the thing. But make sure to, if you're like-minded too, if somebody says something that's not like-minded, hear them out too. That's how it works out really well. End Times popped over from DLive to YouTube, says, Fort Lewis is blowing stuff up all week, and they said scheduled till the 19th. Still shaking my house in Olympia today. A lot of boom practice going on. End Times, that's crazy. This summer, I'm trying to get up to Olympia again, or past Olympia, but yes, we got to connect at some point. Much love, Adam and Dex. Anyways, given your all, like always, appreciate what you do. Keep it up. Hashtag Foggle fam. I know you meant Foogle fam. We all need to pray more. I agree with you. Eliza Nunez, thank you. That's giant. If that was a mistake, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you for the $100 super chat. Again, we are unique and totally on our own. So thank you, Eliza. That is appreciated. Keith and Queen Brat says, hey, Adam, like to call in your next show and talk about prepping for truckers. God bless you, Dex and Foogle fam. Keith and Queen Brat, I have a better idea. You should make a prepper minute for us. I think if you wanted to make several, I know that Bones is a trucker as well. I think that's a great idea. So that is awesome. Watchful and alert. Thank you so much, everybody, tonight. I just really love you. Priscilla R., Johnny Doom, Bear Claws, Ashia, everybody that has been awesome. Kelly2334, Nana Deborah. It is now time for the shoutro. It is not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. Why isn't it going on? Queen Brad do it all day. Going right back now they way. Michelle Awkward, think of you. Cynthia Lynn, I love you. N times with Triple Z. Thank you for hanging with me. Thank you, everybody. I was bringing Bear Claws, Three Moons, Mark's Drums, Vibron, Snook Cam, Every, Man Damn, Oh Damn, Loverball, Bear Claws, Van Dam, Dumbo Drain in the Gim Gam, Bring It Down in the Trans Am, Maui Racing Realtor, Oh Damn. Market drums, we are claws, everybody knows. MPs 46, everybody flows. Tadasuzo, just follow. Ninja Genie on all right. On the road, then down in the all tight. Kelly on the tally 2, 3, 3, 4. Kelly on the tally 3, 4. Kelly on 2, 3, 4. Kelly on the 2, 3, 4. Kelly on the 2, 3, 4. Today's top 3 over on D Live. Stormy, thank you, and thank you. Number 2 today, Kelly 2334. Number 3, Techno Gypsy. Techno Gypsy, whiff shit. Techno Gypsy, whiff me. Techno Gypsy, I see. Techno Gypsy, I be. Gypsy, I see. Techno Gypsy, I be. Techno Gypsy, I see. All right, thank you, Maui Racing Realtor, Dumbo Train. I was fucking fine, going back, no lying. Catch a ball, start one. Red Ice TV, PSB, Flamenco in the Jordan CC. Love a ball, bush shadow in the Dumbo Train. Going right back down in the Dumbre. Got it absorb, bring it back now down absorb. What up, Snafu? Jenna Moss in the Chevy C. Dark Truth and the Fun Side. With the E and the Stoopy. Jenna Moss and everybody. Bear Claws and the much love fair. Everybody saying like I might be a cat. Dime with the cake king. Rips out on the grow now. Bring a hairy balls and I know now.
Sailor, Bobby of Joy, monkey on the ironwork and everybody toys. Around with the third car, United Minds. Michelle Allen, everybody fine. God girl, Scooby-Doo, do-right. You'll never find a Charlie horse, Judy doll that do-right. Sing a rap, gentle mouse types, tap, 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 tap. Bold by the coffee, I am full. Everybody loves a beautiful. Everybody knows it a Judy doll. Gonna bring it back like a rocket girl now. Never also ride. Lisa Cable, Bar, won't bring it back, Bear Claus. Do it right down the job. Gregor too and love of you. And Harry Bob. Bring back and pot them all. Do it back and you know. Uh-oh. Letitia Stoll is late. Apparently, Letitia Stoll, everyone, is late. I guess we're going to have to start the show over. Great. Hi, what is going on, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf. This is Marfoogle News. Letitia Stoll is late, so guess we got to do it again. Thanks, Letitia. Everybody knows Cherry Carol.